Thanks for taking the time today. Like I said, it's been about a month and a half since I talked to you. I guess Ollie and you connected last week. He gave me some high-level feedback. What's kind of changed over there since we spoke last?
Number of units coming through the shop has increased pretty drastically. We've had, roughly about judging June of last year to June of this year, about a 62% growth, I guess you could say, as far as revenues. Road calls have increased, like a 53% change in the number of calls that we have seen for road calls or shop calls that have turned into road calls. So like, for example, last year, June of 25, we did 202 invoices. This year, we're sitting at 234 invoices.
The ticket size the same?
Yeah, the ticket size has increased. We've gone from a $677 average last year to a $948 average this year. So yes, so I don't have July numbers yet because we're of course not quite done with July. But Misty, my other lady, she did all this handy dandy spreadsheet for me yesterday. She quickly, it was sickening how quick she made it look and how easy she was able to do it. But like the income category has definitely gone up. We've definitely seen, there's not been a day that we have not had new customers come through the shop. When we were checking where they were finding us and how they were finding us, the consistent change was the Google platform.
What do you mean by that? Like they were just referencing that's how they found you?
Yes, because I would ask them, how did you locate me? How did you find me? How did you hear about me? And most of everybody that was new was Google. Of course, there were the few that were in TTS or, a platform like that, like Find Truck or something. But for the majority of it, it was all organic Google searched that they found it.
Wow, that's great.
Yes.
Is there anything else that you're doing?
We have not changed anything else. This is the only change that there has been.
Really? First of all, I did have a couple of questions. Thank you for giving me all that. I had a couple written down to kind of break this down a little bit further. So I think when you first came to us, you were spending a significant amount of money on other advertising platforms.
Yes.
Is that correct?
Were spending, most of that was through the NTTS platform where we were spending. It worked out to be, it was about, well, we had backed off of a little bit of it because it had just gotten so ridiculously expensive. Because on that platform, you bid for top spot in each city and each category that you want. And some of those categories were between $200 and $300 a day.
Oh, wow.
And so it had gotten as high as we were spending about $7,000 every 10 days with them. We have since scaled that back since actually doing this with y'all. I've scaled that back to it's about $1,800 every 10 days because I was like, yeah, I'm not going to keep paying this $300 and $400 a day for one location that wasn't beneficial, where I would rather do this, and I am seeing a significant difference. And I know when I talked to Ollie last week, he said that we, he's like, are you ready to take it up to the next tier? Are you ready to increase your spending budget? Are you ready to do this? And I am happy to say that now I'm in a position that I can do that. Whereas when I think we talked a month and a half ago, I told you very honestly that it was one of those, I couldn't afford to do it, but I couldn't afford not to do it type situations. So now it's like, okay, I can't afford to do this because we have seen this kind of growth in a month and the work is there and it's here. And like I said, it has been a constant. It's not like we hit a high target and just kind of fell back off. It has just continuously stayed where it was and maybe continued building a little bit. So I think we're definitely in the right direction. Yes. So thank you.
I'm just pulling this up here, and that's actually really interesting because you're not even spending that much on Google. It looks like you only spent like $3,300 last month.
Yes.
Looks like the closing rate is very high on the qualified leads, almost 40%. So that's great. So you were spending a bunch of money, basically, it sounds like, on another advertising platform. You actually scaled that back and you put it into Google, and your volume has just gotten significantly more for less spend. Is that
yes,
what I'm hearing?
100% absolutely correct.
Now, do you feel about this program that, like, if you needed more, like if you went out right now and hired 3 more technicians and you had the space, do you feel the confidence that you could just increase the spend on this and increase the workflow to be able to support those people?
Yes.
Cool. Cool. That's great. So you've already answered like most of these questions. What would you say to somebody like another repair shop right now who's like in the same situation that you were in, right? Maybe they had infrastructure, they were already like a multi-million dollar shop,
Mhm.
and they're kind of on the fence about jumping on the Search Master program. What would you say to them?
Absolutely do it. 100%. It is worth every penny that you're going to spend to do it.
Awesome. Thank you. The last question I have for you is like, what else can we be doing better?
I have no complaints whatsoever. I mean, between Ollie, between Luis or Lewis, I'm not sure how he says his name. They have been great. It has been very transparent. And I actually need to follow back up with them because I did get internet control and I did get, or my website control back. And we've got to do something, putting a card on file or something with DigiRep or something. There was something I got to do there. But it has been very seamless. Y'all have done everything you said you would do for me. So, like I said, I can't express my gratitude enough and the thank you for that, which I mean, I know I'm paying for it. So it's not like you're doing it out of the, out of the goodness of your heart, but
No,
it is a
hey.
job and you are doing it. That's why there are people like you and businesses like you to help people.
Yeah.
Because trust me, it's not something I understand. You want me to fix your truck? I can help you. You want me to
Yeah.
do this? I can't help you. It has been a godsend. So like I told you, it was one of those, I couldn't afford to do it, but I couldn't afford not to do it. It was literally almost turning on the light switch. We knew something had changed within the 24 hours of me paying y'all and knowing that it was there. We knew it had changed. I mean, it was that apparent.
Just in terms of numbers, you were able to save, it looks like probably around are you still spending that much on that other channel, the
it's
20,000?
about $1,700 every 10 days. So no, I've cut it back significantly, which actually frees up a little bit to be able to put a little more into the Google side of things, because as you and I both know, or we wouldn't be having this conversation, that's the way the world is working now, is that optimization, not the old school boards that we were all so accustomed to.
Yeah, so absolutely. I think it's important to be using multiple platforms, for sure. But it sounds like in terms of dollars, you were actually able to about 10 grand a month or 120 grand a year in advertising spend, and increase your top line as well.
Yes, absolutely.
Last question here. What's next for your shop? Like, what's the next step here?
Well, we had to hire somebody. We've already had to hire a new shop mechanic. So that's always a positive. We're going to continue the growth, continue the trend, continue the pattern. We are also branching out a little more back into our fleet work that we were so hot and heavy in that when fuel gets to $6 a gallon, fleets start cutting that out. But now they're starting to see, we probably shouldn't do that because their maintenance budgets are increasing so much because they're missing that. So we're just going to continue this uphill climb that we have, looking at hiring. We know the potential is there to have to hire at least another 1 or 2 guys probably before the end of the year if the volume keeps increasing the way that we have seen it increasing. So that's kind of where we're at right now.
Awesome. Cool. Thank you so much, Randy.
Okay. Thanks,
Appreciate
Corey. Have a
it.
good
See
day.
ya.
Thank you for
You too.
everything.
Yeah. Thank you. See you. Bye-bye.